I had to shout to keep the wind from snatching my words away. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Above me, Prince Khufu climbed up the rungs of what had to be the tallest spire in the world. He shouted, "It's the best idea ever!" "But," I gulped, "we're really high up." So high, in fact, that the city of Abido spread out far below us. I could make out the grid pattern of streets reflecting the glow of the night sky's starlight. It would have been a great view if I was peering over the railing of the royal barge, but it was a different story hanging on for dear life to a thin metal frame that swayed in the wind. "The higher we get, the better the ride," Prince Khufu shouted. I'd figured my new job as the prince's shadow would require a lot of dangerous things from me. But I'd never imagined this. The prince hadn't seemed this adventuresome during the shadow testing. Worried and nervous was more like it. But since that was over, and I'd become his shadow, he seemed a lot more confident and mischievous. "It's still dark," I protested. "The sun isn't even up." Khufu stopped and motioned for me to climb up to him. When I reached him, he said, "It's almost sunrise. We'll get in one quick ride on the first rays of the sun. Nobody will know we haven't slept the night away like good little kids, so stop protesting. You got to do all sorts of fun stuff during the shadow testing. Now it's my turn." "Fun stuff? You think fighting demons was fun? Giant scorpions, baboon brothers, the jackal-headed demon that feeds on rottenness. He nearly fed on you," Khufu said with an amused smirk. "Not to mention Amok." Why do people always say "not to mention" just before they mention something? Being attacked by metal vultures, almost getting eaten by a massive slug, nearly torched by a fire-breathing monster, and having to fight Egypt's most powerful evil magician, it wasn't really Tekat, just a spell version of him. Watching other kids die in horrible ways? You call that nobody really died? But we didn't know that at the time. Khufu let go of the rungs with one hand and pointed. "I can see the glow from Lord Ra." "2 hands, Prince," I snapped. "2 hands, please." "Relax," Khufu said. "The spire was made for climbing." With that, he resumed the ascent. I took off after him. I couldn't really say just what the spire was made for or who would want to go up it. Khufu had mumbled something about it being for atmospheric experiments, whatever that meant. All I knew was that we shouldn't be up there, not by ourselves, not in the dark of night, and especially not after Pharaoh Neferu had made it clear we were not to use the sun wings. The royal family was on a big tour of Egypt. Most of the royal family, that is. Prince Rami had fallen suspiciously sick and talked his way out of going. It was pretty obvious why. The trip was all about showing Prince Khufu off to the people of Egypt, and showing me off too, I guess. Knowing Rami, this was not stuff he wanted to be a part of. Not that I minded. He was almost as big a sourpuss as Lord Set.